talking about marketing, talking about search. John basically kick-started this by talking about Google. Now, who in here uses any other search tool? Do you use Bing, Yahoo? So everybody uses Google, so that's been valuable, right? So I want to start with a story, right? Now, who in here still watches television? Most of us, right? If not, about 60% of the room. Now, whenever each of us watch television and the adverts come on, what do we do? Sorry? A cup of tea. Anything else? Do we do anything else? Grab your phone, right? But do you think watching the adverts is something enjoyable? Do you find it really relaxing? You know what, I'm going to watch 3 minutes of advertisement that I don't really want, about products I don't really care about things that I potentially will never buy. Has anyone ever been there? Well, today I'm going to speak about something so obvious, but so many businesses are not paying attention to. But first we want to look at one thing. Who is your customer? And I love how John broke it down in the beginning. Get inside the mind of the people that you're serving your product or service for. The companies that win are the companies that know their customers the best. And the only reason why Apple is better than a Dell or an HP or any other tech giant is simply just because on a fundamental level, they have chosen to understand their customers more than anybody else. As a user experience designer myself, we pride and we take care of understanding the customers for the people that we work for. Right now we're working on a project with a client called HomeServe, just 2 doors down from John's office. One simple change on their website, moving a search function all the way to the top of their website, instead of it being at the bottom, generated in 1 year over £500,000 for that customer. Over £500,000 just by changing where one button is placed. But imagine if they were sending all of their traffic from television, or they had bad links on search to their website, but they potentially could have been losing over £500,000 simply because the main goal of their site was in the wrong location. You with me, everyone? Look at this. Next question we want to ask is, of your customers, is where is their attention? And this is where we want to spend the biggest amount of time on today. John broke it down so simply. If you understand that the first place, you all said it, where you search from is Google, then as a business owner, it makes sense for you to be very, very strategic about what you're doing with your content on your websites, right? Especially if you are a digital business, if you're using web, if you're using other ways of marketing your products. Now, what's so funny about HomeServe, I'm using them as a prime example because I'm working them right now. Guess where majority of their business is generated? Mail to web. So they basically do all these mail outs. They send actual physical paper. You remember that, guys, right? They send physical paper to people's homes, to different zip codes in America. And from those zip codes, they send them to a website, a landing page, and then they get conversions. But is that where most of your attention is? And with them trying to now reach, and the reason why I've been brought in is because they're trying to reach a more millennial generation. Most millennials are not really reading their post unless it's generally from their bank. So if you want to reach a new audience, businesses need to understand more about storytelling. The better you can tell stories or tell more about who you are as a business, is the better you will become more visible in search, and the more people will actually be attracted to your brand instead of just, okay, I just need a new product. Nowadays, with empowered customers, like John said, that can search on their phones really quickly for the competition, you need to become better at telling stories. So I'll quickly go through this. So we look at this, they call it the Pareto principle. Has anyone ever heard of it? The 80-20 rule, right? Most of the time, when businesses would promote what they do, what they would do is they would basically tell their customers, scream to their customers, this is what we are selling, this is what we are about. The best way for you to promote and you've heard it all before, is value-based content. What that simply means is, if I need to know about your business, educate me first or entertain me about who you are, rather than just scream it at me. Education and entertainment are two fundamental practices that, when applied to your promotional content, will really, really be a good sieve to see if you're using the right strategies. So what do I mean? Whenever you're using social media, especially, whenever you're sharing your content, you want to make sure, like we said in the beginning, like John emphasized, the more you understand your customers and the more you listen to your customers, you will realize that you can produce the right content for them. So one thing that HomeServe have done with their Spanish team is they basically understand that most people in Spain have awnings that go over the front of their houses because the sun is really hot. So what they began to do is they began to create blog content around the best ways you can use your awnings, having lunch parties outside of your house, having dinners and socializing with friends. They realized that as they spoke about the way you can use these features of their home with their family members, they not only did they drive more sales, but they got more views to their website, they got more searches as well, and as more people hit their website, what did that turn out to become? More sales. They actually made more money. So the more they listened, the more they found out that people actually didn't really want to know so much about the awning per se, but they found new ways. They spoke about new ways to use something that everybody has, but in a different way. Everything else is simply kill it. All it is the more you're speaking to customers, talking to customers, and nowadays, what people are using the most, and I'll just quickly run through this, is social media. Is anybody in here B2B business? Business to business? 1, 2. And when you're speaking to businesses, from a social media standpoint, most businesses are where? On LinkedIn. But the thing is that with LinkedIn, it's not always easy to get to all businesses, as you know, John. A lot of businesses are hidden behind LinkedIn's kind of strategic way. They say, are you a premium member? Are you a first class? They have all these different types of memberships. But what LinkedIn allows you to do is get the name, and it allows you to know the position that person holds within a company. So let's say Fabian Thorpe. I found out, okay, I want to do business with Fabian Thorpe. I may not be able to message him on LinkedIn, but Fabian Thorpe has a Twitter page, doesn't he? Fabian Thorpe also has a Facebook page, doesn't he? And I can then find out via these other channels what Fabian Thorpe is thinking about, what Fabian Thorpe talks about. I can go on his Twitter, maybe I can get involved in a conversation with him. I could even go on his Facebook page, and depending upon how open his page is, I could even get into a conversation with him. I remember speaking with Stephen even today, and we spoke about people want to do business with people. And what we're finding nowadays with this digital age is if I search for you and find you, I'm going to do business with your business. Yes, we get that, but I really want to see if I like you. People really do business more so with people they like. And then if you can do the job, then I want to stay and do business with you even more. What we've also found is that with using these platforms, and I hope I have the slide to show you, Facebook basically, let me just kind of rush forward quickly. I'm going to just pull up this last slide before we go, about Facebook. So where John spoke about search, Facebook having the most amount of people on their platform right now, they basically are saying that within the next 5 years, video is going to be the #1 kind of medium that they're going to use on their platform. Now, Facebook have over 1.5 billion users right now, and it's exponentially growing. I think they even have more. But what we're finding is, does anybody in here use Facebook? Or has a Facebook, or is regular? Basically everybody in this room. And what we're finding is that the more people are using these platforms, they are developing more and more tools to keep you in the platforms longer. So if anyone has noticed, have you noticed your Facebook changed yesterday? Yeah? And so has anybody ever heard of Snapchat? Now, does anybody do business with 18 to 24-year-olds? Yes, Dion, all right? Tara. Now, if you want to get to 18 to 24-year-olds, 18 to 24-year-olds in a general populace, we don't have all the sites, there's so many sites, eMarketer, and so many others. Most of them are using Snapchat and Instagram. These are the two platforms they're using the most. Most individuals who are older are using Facebook, LinkedIn, even Twitter still. Twitter still has the attention, but it's losing the attention in comparison to the other sites. But if you want to do business with a younger audience, then you have to be on Snapchat and primarily working with Instagram influencers. People buy from people they trust. So if I'm following you and you have maybe 5,000 people, but you're talking about, I don't know, makeup and things like that, I'm more inclined to buy from you than to just go to L'Oreal because I think L'Oreal is a good product. If you're using a different brand and I like you and you have it and I think you're looking good, I'm going to buy from you. Doesn't matter if L'Oreal's got the best product on the market, whatever you're using, I'm going to use that. And these are the different ways that digital marketing for the future is changing. You can be visible in search, you can have a strong media presence, but the more you can work with people who other people trust or your definite audience are trusting, is the better you will become in your especially B2C, commerce-based business. As we close, I wanted to kind of just focus on one last thing. We don't have time to go through everything. And this kind of bouncing off what John says. Are you using your marketing channels strategically? The more and more we see it, Most companies feel that they need to just have a social media presence. Have you heard that before? Just have a Facebook page, have this page, have that page, and it seems like it's good. But strategic content is saying, imagine if I'm the customer and I find out about you on Facebook. The question you want to ask is, where do you want me to go next? Such a simple question, but it can really help you understand the actual customer journey rather than in isolation, this one post that I'm focusing on, rather than just saying, okay, I need to put something out. Think about it. Where do you want them to go next? What do you want them to do next? Wouldn't you like them to share this content? If they are going to share this content, then how can I make it drive more of an emotion rather than just educating and then leaving them alone? I want to thank you for today, and I hope that as we go forward, when we have the panel discussion, get ready for your questions. I'm going to go and ask some more. Thank you, guys.